All right, welcome back everybody, and here we are at the end of the whole series of all of our courses out at Branson, in Branson, I should say. Most of which at Big Cedar Lodge, actually in Hollister and Ridgedale. So I think I put on a couple of the videos like Payne's Valley that it was in Hollister, but after looking a little more closely, after I already cut those videos, they're actually in Ridgedale. But they're all like right next to each other, kind of suburbs of each other, so it's all the same area. Anyhow, and then a couple of courses in Branson, right? We had a Thousand Hills and Branson Hills. So I wanted to give you my review of all the courses there. I got my laptop set up here so I can look things up in living color for you. I actually have to bring a couple of other websites up for Branson Hills and Thousand Hills. I had all the or the Big Cedar Lodge courses up, so let's see here. Branson Hills and Thousand Hills. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So, let's start with Big Cedar Lodge, huh? Yeah, I mean, the place is pristine. Absolutely gorgeous through and through. Let's see here. Oh, oops. There we go. And yes, brought me just the search of them, so now I can do that. So I want to give you the prices as I see them today for all of these courses here. So yeah. Man, I'm looking for where I can book tee times on Thousand Hills here. I know it's here somewhere. Okay. Yeah, so Thousand Hills, the prices aren't up on there, but I think it was something like 60 bucks, something in that ballpark, 60, 80 bucks to play Thousand Hills out there. And then Branson Hills was a little more. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Yeah, okay. And then Branson Hills was 109. All right, that's what it's showing as of right now. And this is March 19th, 2022. So if I remember right, we paid a little more to play all these courses when we were out there in August, kind of, high season, if you will. So optimal sunlight, and I mean, the weather was hot. It was super humid down there. And when it rained, it didn't rain for all that long when it did, but it rained, I mean, probably half of the days that we were out there. And boy, it's a monsoon when it does rain out there. So kind of be ready for that. If you're planning a vacation out there, even if it's in the summertime, I would definitely pack some rain gear. You're probably going to get wet a little bit. And when I say wet, I mean drenched. So yeah, be ready for that for sure. Let's see here. Price point, because this is where I start with everything, right? It all comes down to the money anyway. Right now, and I have for the Big Cedar Lodge courses here, I have them all set to April 13th for the tee time, right? Which I'm not going to book because, well, I'm not going, right? But this is just to give you an idea of what the prices would be right now. For Payne's Valley, it's 185 bucks, so in April. And I believe these are still winter rounds, because if I remember right, we paid like $350 to play Payne's Valley in peak season. So yeah, that's 300 to 350, somewhere up there. So I think these are reduced for the season. But yeah, if you were looking to go out there and get a deal, I guess April's kind of the time for it, no doubt. Ozarks National, 145. Again, that's April 13th, 2022 for the date select for the tee time here. And if I remember right, we paid somewhere in the 200s for that. It was 200, 250, somewhere around there. Same for Buffalo Ridge, which is right now going for April 13th at 100 bucks a round. That's a heck of a deal, let me tell you. Buffalo Ridge, gorgeous. Love that course. If you can get on that course for 100 bucks, oh boy, that's a steal. Top of the Rock, actually 130 for a 9-hole par 3 course. On that same day, April 13th. Yeah, so 30 bucks more, actually, than Buffalo Ridge. That is surprising. Yeah, that they had that price more. Definitely when we went down there and played, we did not pay more for Top of the Rock than we did for Buffalo Ridge. We definitely paid more for that. I don't know why they've got it so discounted right now, but lo and behold, that's what they do. And so actually, now this is interesting. So for Mountaintop, as soon as I brought up the site today, which is the 19th of March, actually, it defaulted to the 23rd of March for $80 a round. But when I change that to April 13th, and it refreshes here, it refreshes to $55 a round. So I don't know what the weather is like in April in Branson and Hollister and Ridgedale, Missouri, but apparently something goes on there. They're doing something with the courses that make it so that they feel that they need to discount the courses a great deal. So if you're trying to get out there and plan a vacation sometime very soon, in the next month from right now when I'll air this video, yeah, you can get out there for some pretty good prices. Because let me tell you, in the summertime, this place is not cheap. Not one single thing that you're going to get out there is cheap, that's for sure. Rooms are expensive, the golf's expensive, all your trinkets are expensive, the food's expensive, period. Big Cedar Lodge is just pricey. That's what it is. But it's a magical experience, let me tell you. And you know what? As an installation, right, as a venue in its entirety. Now, of course, we didn't really get out and do anything other than just play golf, just because that's what I do. But yeah, there's plenty of other stuff to do there too. There's like rock climbing and there's hunting out there, rock crawling, like if you're into jeeping and stuff, boating, yeah, just everything. A Table Rock Lake, if I remember right, is what that lake's called. It's just down from the lodge itself right there. So, I mean, basically every outdoorsy kind of thing, every kind of, you know, woodlandish sort of thing that you can think of, they got it right there at Big Cedar Lodge. It's owned by Bass Pro Shops, right? So, as well, it sort of should sort of have everything an outdoorsman could possibly want to do for recreation. And let me tell you, it's gorgeous. And the whole area out there, I don't think I've ever seen so many waterfalls in one location in my life. Maybe Maui, Hawaii there. But I mean, even still in Maui, you got to go looking for them, right? This place, you're just walking around the little area up there on the lodge, and oh, there's another waterfall. Oh, cool waterfall. Oh, little waterfall. Oh, big waterfall. We're all over the place. It's awesome. So, if you're looking for an experience with waterfalls on it, yeah, especially in the golf domain, this is definitely a place that'll give it to you. That's for sure. Especially Buffalo Ridge. Buffalo Ridge. So let's jump into the review of the courses there. So yeah, I'll rank them right in terms of just my favorite to least favorite, which is going to be really tough because I really enjoyed all of them, honestly. So if you're going out there, you can't play a bad round. So there's a very slim margin of ranking here between all of these courses. But I'll give it to you anyway. So I think my favorite course out there was actually Buffalo Ridge, just because when I go to play golf, I'm kind of in it for the beauty of it, right? I like to just feel like I'm immersed in this mystical land where I could just, you know, hang out and just be at peace. That's sort of what I'm looking for when I'm on the course. So that's, and Buffalo Ridge really did it for me for that. That was the prettiest one. Secondly, I would have to say Payne's Valley, just because Payne's Valley is probably the most playable course out there that we played. Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I'm going to throw Branson Hills and Thousand Hills in this mix too. So that's just because Branson Hills kind of takes the cake for, I think, well, no, it's about parallel, but I'll mention that in a minute. But anyway, back to Payne's Valley. Yeah, most playable for sure. And so if you're going out there and you're just looking to relax and not have to really rack your brain over position and whatnot, you just want to have a beautiful day out there playing golf on a very pristine course. The greens were fair. The greens were fair pretty much across the board. Very soft, very receptive. So if you're going out to Branson, Missouri at all the greens were that way, very soft. And I will say, if you're going out there, please repair your pitch marks on the greens. So many people out there, and I guess this is kind of golf wide. I know this is a little bit of a segue, but there were a lot of pock marks on on those greens out there, especially on Payne's Valley. Being, I think it's the only Tiger Woods designed course that's open to the public. So obviously that grants it a lot of allure, but and it gets a lot of play naturally. I mean, seriously, guys, if you leave a pitch mark on the green, fix it. All right, you're just disrespecting the course. You're disrespecting everyone else behind you. That's just awful, awful etiquette. Right, to leave a pitch mark on the green and leave it there. It's crap. Same thing with the fairways. You leave a big divot in the fairway, fill it in. Go get the fillet of grass that you took out, or if you just flat blasted it and it's all over the place, fill it in with the seed, whatever you're gonna do. But don't just leave big divots in the middle of the fairway. People are paying pretty top dollar to play out there, just as you did, and they want to have a nice experience too. It's kind of up to you when you tarnish the course like that to make sure you assist in repairing it. Right? It shouldn't be up to the greenskeeper to repair every single divot and every single pitch mark that every person every day ever leaves. That's insane. Right? Those crews are small. They're not out there, able to fix hundreds of people's mishaps and tarnishments to the course every day, all day. So anyway, segue on etiquette, on just taking care of the course as you're out there. Yeah, please do that. There's just a lot of people who were out there when I was who did not, and that was kind of frustrating. But, it is what it is. So, anyhow. But back to Payne's Valley. Yeah, the most playable course out there for sure. Now, Payne's Valley did have a uniqueness to it, though. I'll say this. So, the yardage that Tiger and Tiger's design team built that course around, I guess, I don't know really the right way to say that, but they put the yardage, here's what I'm trying to say, they put all of the yardage in very strange places, right? So it's not your typical run-of-the-mill, like, oh, I know what to expect on all these par 3s, and all these par 4s, they're going to be between this yardage and this yardage, the par 5, so on and so forth. There's several holes out there that are very drivable par 4s, right? Like very drivable. You don't even need driver to get there. So you can actually hit club to get there. Now, okay, granted, we were playing from a couple tee boxes up just because Pops and I were both not having our best week of golf performance. So we decided, you know what? Let's give ourselves a chance to score a little bit better on those days and just move up a couple tee boxes. Just because, yeah, we drove 14 hours there and then 14 hours back. And so, yeah, we were kind of switching back both ways. So both of our backs were in bad shape from spending that much time in the car. So, yeah, we were not playing as well as we could have probably out there. So we said, heck with it. Let's give ourselves a little bit of advantage and just step it up a couple tee boxes, which I think is the responsible thing to do, right? So, anyway, yeah, that is what it is. But the yardages back to that, on Payne's Valley are put in very strange places. A lot of drivable par 4s, but then there's several par 3s that are exceptionally long, right? Where it's like, okay, good, you got your drivable par 4 in you, and then next hole, here's this almost not drivable or not stickable par 3, right? Like this 230-yard par 3 or something crazy. Matter of fact, I have all the scorecards right here. Just let me have a look at Payne's Valley here. So, yeah, I mean, looking at all the par 3s, you got a 267-yard par 3 from the tips, right? And then a 188, and then let's see here, the next one, where is it? Is the wrong one? Oh, there it is. And then a 183, and then a 224. Those are all the par 3s from the tips on the course there. So, yeah, pretty relentless on those par 3s, I would say. And then for those holes respectively, from the next tee boxes down, if you were playing the blues, that 267-yard par 3 is 237, and then the whites play 197, and the forward tees 126. So even 197 for the whites, man. Like for the whites, you're still getting it right there, right? That's still still a little ways to hit that ball. And then the 188, that's number 5. If you're playing from the blues, that's 169. The whites 142, and from the forwards, that's 119. And then for number 10, which is the second to last par 3 here, that 183 from the tips, par 3. If you're playing from the blues, it's 161, 140 from the whites, and only 99 yards for those forward tees. And for the last par 3, number 16, the 224 hole from the tips, that's 204 from the blues, 171 from the whites, and 101 from the forward tees. So why do I mention the par 3s, right? Just because those are kind of the holes, as a lot of veteran golfers probably well know, that are really going to make and break your round, right? Like you get one shot to stick that green and you don't get to pick the yardage with respect to how good your drive was, as you would on a par 4. Or your second shot, or possibly your drive if you were trying to go GUR, green, under regulation, right, on a par 5. So anyway, I like to mention par 3 yardages just because that's kind of how I gauge how bad that course is going to eat your lunch. Because when you're a decent golfer, if you're going to pick up a lot of strokes, par 3s are the first place you can look to where that's going to happen, in my opinion. So there's that. But yeah, and then the drivable par 4s. Let's see here. So number 3, right, is only 278 from the whites, 304 from the blues, and 334 from the tips. And okay, back to the forwards, 221. So I mean, pretty much for every skill level of player with respect to whatever tee box you've selected, you should pretty well expect to be able to drive that green on number 3. Let's see here. On number 7, 368 from the tips. Okay, that's a little outside of drivable from the tips, granted. 350 from the blues. Yeah, you're pounding it if you're trying to get there on the blues. But from the whites, it enters the drivable range, right? 315. For a big hitter, I guess. Yeah, I guess not. I should think about that. Not everyone can pound them that far. And then from the forward tees, 254. Let's see here. Okay, here we go, number 12. So that's another drivable par 4. So from the tips, 341, blues, 322, whites, 282. So yeah, very drivable from the whites. And then 237 from the front tees. Let's see here. Is there another drivable one? No, it doesn't really look like it. So there you have it. There's 3 par 4s that are drivable, really. Give yourself, if you hit a crack on drive and nail that green, stick it, give yourself a good chance to putt for eagle, and you got 3 chances for that. So, they like I said, the yardages are put in very strange places. Okay, so moving on here, I would put Branson Hills and Ozarks National kind of tied for rank 3 there within the whole Branson area of the courses that we played. Those two in my eyes are most difficult. So I actually don't have the scorecards with me for Branson Hills, and I'm not going to walk away and go get them. But yeah, Ozarks National, Core and Crenshaw design. So same guys designed all the Bandon Dunes courses, right? Which I am going back out to Bandon Dunes this May. Me and me Pops. I'm a pirate now, apparently. But Pops and I are going back out there with a couple of my uncles, so we're going to film a bunch of content out there. It so happens that the week that we're actually going out there, they're doing some maintenance, some like heavy-duty maintenance on Bandon Dunes itself, so unfortunately we won't get to play Bandon, and we're not going to play Bandon Trails either. But when I do the full installation review of Bandon Dunes, post-recording and rendering those videos, I have played both Bandon Dunes and Bandon Trails before, so I will comment on them anyway, even though we're not going to get content for them. But we are going to play Old Mac, we're going to play Pacific Dunes, we're going to play Sheep Ranch, which is, spoiler alert, that's my favorite course out there. I love Sheep Ranch. And not because it doesn't have any bunkers, and the reason why it doesn't have any bunkers is because the wind gets to be so high out there that it would blow the sand out of those bunkers at high winds there on that ledge. So, but I just love how many of those holes are right there on the ocean. I live in Colorado, so it's a rarity for me to get to hang out by the ocean, and it's just a magical experience. Especially number 16 out there, right out on 5 Mile Point. I mean, last time I played out there, we played it into the sunset. It was gorgeous. But anyway, more about that when I actually go out there to play Bandon again this year, or you know, 4 of the courses, and we're playing the Preserve, which I have not played. That's the only course out there I haven't played, so I'm actually really excited to play that. But so that'll be good times. But yeah, so Core Crenshaw design for Ozarks National. That's where I was going with that. Tiger design for Payne's. Tom Fazio for Buffalo Ridge. Don't think I recommended that before. In the video, I recall saying that, because I asked Pops who designed this car, so he was like, oh, Arnold Palmer. No, so where my dad was, his brain was at with that, was Arnold Palmer's old, like his farmhouse was deconstructed from wherever that was and completely moved, the original wood and everything. They refurbished it. And they moved that to Big Cedar Lodge. So Arnold Palmer's old farmhouse, magnificent if you go out there. I mean, you got to check out all these places at Big Cedar. They're all just beautiful. But so that's the Arnold Palmer reference out there. But the top of the rock was actually designed by Jack Nicklaus, not by Arnold Palmer. So let's correct that error right now. And then, of course, Mountaintop designed by Gary Player. So, yeah, you got some big names out there designing all these tracks. Yeah, just a whole smorgasbord of awesomeness in the way of golf design. Let's see here. So just under those, I would, or those two, Ozarks and Branson Hills. Right, those are definitely the most challenging out there. I'd probably put Ozarks a little tougher than Branson Hills just because of all the blind shots out there. But yeah, by and large, they're both pretty tough. That's for sure. Yeah, they both ate my lunch pretty good. But they're both magnificent too. I mean, they were both gorgeous. So yeah, I mean, highly recommend. Especially if you want to see how you measure up to Phil. Right, that's where Phil won his first tournament on the Champions Tour. So right there at Ozarks National. So you want to see how you would compare to Phil's old game, and yeah, go out there and give yourself a shot. Yeah, if I found that I'm nowhere near Phil's skill level, that's for sure. You're the man, Phil. If you ever happen to stumble across this video, Phil Nicholson, that is. So yeah, that is what it is. Just under that, I'd have to say that, you know, probably the funnest course I played out there would have had to have been Thousand Hills. Yeah, so Thousand Hills out there, only par 66 course. So of course I shot a 69, 3 over, which was, you know, really good for me. I don't shoot that low a whole lot, but I was just on the stick that day, man. So that was just brilliant. And I sunk a couple of putts that yeah, helped out in that endeavor. And my green hit percentage, I think, was pretty darn good that day as well. So that was nice. And we played that day in the same day that we played Branson Hills, and I think I shot at 82 on Branson Hills, if I remember right. I don't have that scorecard sitting right in front of me here. Like I said, I'm not going to go down there and go grab it right now and exit the video. But anyway, so that's, yeah. So I played those two in the same day, and well, I guess that's golf, right? Didn't even have a nap between those two rounds. Just bam, bam, one course to the other, and that big of a difference in score, anyway, and in, you know, play performance. So yeah, that's what that is. And then the 2 par 3 courses. So I'm going to put the par 3 courses off to the side here and not rank them with the regulation courses. Even though Branson Hill, or yeah, Thousand Hills is kind of a regulation course with an asterisk, right? Just because it's you know, par 66, right? So a lot of par 3s out there. And the real cool thing about that with all the par 3s is on every par 3, there's a hole-in-one challenge for a good grip of money between like $1,000 and $10,000 if you happen to ace it. So that's kind of cool. You get to kind of, you know, have a little shot to, if you happen to hit an ace out there, whether it's your first or your last, you know, or however many in between, you know, you get a little scratchy from that. And they've got cameras hidden all over the place to record it, so you won't have to worry about, you know, saying, I sunk that hole-in-one, he's my witness. No, they've got a witness called camera. So they'll know if you actually did it or not. But and if you want to see some more great content out of Thousand Hills, the good golf guys went out there and they played a bunch of rounds. They also played, I they played Payne's as well. They played a real good scramble out there. And I can't remember if they played any of the other courses on their channel, but they obviously put up some great content. If you're watching my channel, you're probably well familiar with theirs already anyway. So, but if you're not, go check them out. The Good Golf guys. Those guys put up some really great content all over the place. So, yeah, definitely hit them up too. But let's see here. So the 2 par 3 courses, I'll put them off to the side, kind of in their own special category. That's Top of the Rock and Mountaintop. I gotta say that, man, this is a hard pick. Because I played so terribly on Top of the Rock, right? But that was just because it was the first round of the trip. My back was just not in good shape. I couldn't even complete a full swing. If you watch all this content, you're going to notice that my swing is very stiff the whole trip, just because, wow, I was not in good shape, ladies and gentlemen. I was in some pain trying to get out there and play anyway. But yeah, it was struggling, but it was still fun just because of how beautiful it was. But yeah, Top of the Rock. I gotta say that's my preferred course. Yeah, the Top of the Rock, just because of just how gorgeous it really is. And only 9 holes, and Mountaintop's 13, so you got that going for you on Mountaintop there. And you know, Mountaintop was awesome just because of how sort of linksy it felt, right? It felt very open and, you know, not disturbed. So links, right? H-L-I-N-K-S. That's an old, oh shoot, it's either Gaelic or Celtic, but I can't remember which language that's from. But so, well, I think a lot of people out there don't really know what links means, right? That literally translates to untouched earth or undisturbed earth, right? So it's basically that a course was designed as the earth was shapen, right? So if there was a lot of undulation on the ground before then, it left it alone. It planted grass, they manicured it, mowed it, whatever, and then that's what you play, right? So as opposed to a parklands course, which obviously at the invention of golf, they didn't have the kind of equipment to be able to make parklands courses like we can today, with all these giant land movers and everything, right? So yeah, so that's kind of the difference between the two there. So anyway, a lot of folks don't know what that is, and if you do, and I just explained it to you, I don't mean to be condescending or anything like that. I'm just kind of breaking it down for those who may not know. Right? They might think it may mean something completely different, but that's literally what it translates to for the old word that starts with an H, actually. So, but yeah, so Mountaintop definitely felt a little more linksy to me, which I appreciate, and there were some cool holes on Mountaintop too that were really pretty. You know, with big rock formations. There's big rock formations everywhere. Let's be honest. That's just Branson for you. If you're into these big old, like, what, I don't know even know what it is, like limestone or sandstone or something, but these giant rock formations out there are really cool. Not quite as big as the rock formations out at Arrowhead here in Colorado. Those are the biggest rock formations I've ever seen on a golf course, bar none. Like, that's some really cool playing out there. If you haven't seen the content out there at Arrowhead that I put up, I'd highly recommend you go see that. That course is very unique. And if you're ever in that area, up in Littleton, Colorado, definitely check that out. That place is amazing. But anyway, I digress again. Sorry, I keep going off onto all these other courses. But back to Branson. So yeah, I would have to say Top of the Rock, just because, like I said before, when I'm playing golf, I'm out there looking for the beauty of it. I'm looking for the majesty of it, and sort of that, you know, surreal experience. And Top of the Rock, when I compare that to Mountaintop, gave that to me more than Mountaintop did. That's what I'm looking for. That's why I like them. For playability, though, Mountaintop takes the cake. Yeah, I mean, like you saw, if you watch the content there, yeah, the 2 holes back to back, Pops, putted off the tee box and parred both holes. So I love a course where you could do that, and that's another reason I'm looking forward to playing the Preserve, just because there's several holes out there that you can hit putter off the tee box as well over in Abandoned. So that'll be a lot of fun. Can't wait for that. It's just so cool playing a full, you know, par 3 golf hole, even if it's not all that full, as though it was a mini golf hole with nothing but a putter. Yeah, you gotta like that. Especially since, you know, golf was meant to be played over the ground at its conception. So it kind of really brings you back to I guess the old days of when golf was invented. So I like sort of the history of it as well. Let's see here. So yeah, that's pretty much my ranking of the courses from start to finish there. So far as course conditions, they were all pretty well the same across the board. So I'll kind of give it to you as a all-encompassing course condition review there. All the fairways were pretty good, apart from people not fixing their divots out there. But yeah, I mean the greenskeepers out there in Branson really do a great job. I would probably put the fairways on the Big Cedar Lodge courses a bit above Branson Hills and Thousand Hills, but for Branson Hills only by a small margin. The Branson Hills fairways were actually pretty good too. But yeah, the Big Cedar Lodge courses, all of those fairways were just in really great shape. So it was real pleasant to play off of. And the greens were all rolling actually pretty fair, I thought. Pretty well across the board. I'd give them between a 10 and an 11. I don't think we really went into the 12 range at all. None of them were really all that fast. So yeah, and like I said, highly receptive when you're striking them. So if you put a lot of spin on the ball, oh boy, that spin action is gonna be accentuated. That's for sure on those very soft greens. Let's see, with sand traps, I was in a couple of bunkers, yeah, and I don't recall ever being in a bunker in any of those courses that I didn't enjoy. And well, I use the word enjoy loosely. I don't specifically enjoy being in bunkers whatsoever at all. But it was all pretty soft sand, so I don't recall a bunker that was ever hard panny. That said, I don't think I was ever in a fairway bunker, so I don't recall if there was really a difference. No, yeah, I was in a couple of fairway bunkers there. They were soft sand too. Yeah, so if you get in the fairway bunkers out there, yeah, you're looking at kind of a fluffy out of those things. So that's kind of a true penal trap, if you will, right? Penal, like you get punished, you sickos out there, whose brain went a different way for getting in the trap. It's going to be challenging to get out of it. Softer the sand, the more it's going to grab your club and take power away from you. So that is what it is. Let's see here. So, as it's a travel away, I guess this is the first time I've put anything like this in the channel. So let's do yardage differential. So, coming from Colorado at 6,500 feet, going down there to much closer to sea level. Not quite at sea level, but let's see here. Let me look up the elevation. I want to say it was only about a half a club. Right, and I calculated about a club, right, on this golf yardage calculator that I built myself. But the thing's usually pretty accurate. But yeah, for the conditions that we were playing in down there had to have been a delta between its averages, which is what I plug in when I do my calculations, and what the conditions actually were. Probably the heat, if I had to guess, because your ball will travel a little bit further in heat than it will in cold. So yeah, there's that. So let's see here. So that probably made it so that half club mark was a little more on the mark. Let's see here. Elevation and okay, in Colorado Springs, yeah, 5994, 6,000 feet is Colorado Springs. Sorry. And then for Branson, Missouri is only 774 feet. Yeah, so we're talking about an over 5,000 foot drop to get down there, right? Which I would have expected to drop that far, to lose about a club and a half. But with all the things that I calculate when I calculate my expected yardage changes on my clubs, yeah, you'll come to find that that's not necessarily the case, that you're going to lose that much yardage. It kind of depends on all of the different conditions that you're up against, which I've accounted for. So it should have been only about a club, but I think the exceptional heat that we experienced down there gave both of us, Pops and I, a little more yardage, so it's only about a half a club. So I was pretty much hitting the same clubs as I would up here at 50, almost 6,000 feet, right? But just a little bit stronger. than I would have there. A little more oomph in them. Or, club up and then hit kind of a little lighter than you normally would. But so that was my synopsis of the yardage delta between where I live in Colorado Springs and Branson, Missouri. Again, that's about a 5,025 foot drop. So there's that. But then there's humidity, average temperature, things like that also play into effect as well. And air composition is humidity. So there's that. Let's see here. And then apart from that, I think that's about all I've got to say on the... Oh, no. So the staff out there, how could I forget? The staff out there was all brilliant. I don't recall ever speaking to a marshal even once. Not even on Branson Hills or Thousand Hills. They just left us alone, which was brilliant. And let's see here. Yeah, at the clubhouse, the guys were all just excellent folks. I mean, the hospitality, I think, down in that sort of Midwest and Southern area of the country is just a little more refined. Folks just, they grow up with a little bit better manners down there, especially when they're on the job. So a little bit of a different culture than up here in Colorado, where I think people are a little more rude in general than down there. Sorry, that's just my honest to God assessment of it. It is what it is. But let's see here. So there was that. Yep, the staff all brilliant across the board. Every venue excellent. Yeah, zero complaints whatsoever. Sorry about me getting a text message there or whatever that was. Should have silenced my phone. Let's see here. The patrons out there. Yeah, I mean, we were paired up with other folks, Pops and I, every day out there, except for Thousand Hills. No, and Branson Hills. We weren't paired up with anybody on Branson Hills either. But on all of the Big Cedar courses, we were. Not on the par 3 courses. We played both the par 3 courses alone. But the other 3 courses. Okay, so really only 3 of the courses we got paired up with people. Which was Payne's Valley and Buffalo Ridge and Ozarks. And they were all visitors like we were, thinking back, and all of different walks of life, getting to talk to them. But everybody was just pretty well having a good time. The doctor that we had out there playing with us, and I can't remember his name. He's in a couple of shots. I do my best not to have people who aren't out there to film, like I am, not be in as many of the shots as possible. Unless they want to jump in with us and actually be part of the vlog, and that's their choice. I always offer that up when I happen to be playing with folks. Like, hey, you want to be part of this episode on my channel? Sometimes they take me up on it, sometimes they don't. Whatever. But yeah, I guess the doctor was probably a little if I had to rank him, the least favorable of the other patrons that we played with. And even he was a great guy. I don't want to insult the man at all. He was excellent to play with too. But if I had to pick a worst, if I had to pick him, if they put a gun to my head, said, Alex, pick the one you least liked playing with, I guess it would have to be him. And that was just because it was just kind of it was older personality. He just kind of didn't want to deal with anybody. But that's okay. I mean, when he did have something to say, it was always hilarious. His little quicks. So that was pretty cool. But everybody else was just an absolute pleasure to play with down there. A couple of the guys that I had for just the 19th hole on Payne's Valley, so the fabled Island Green out there, 19th hole, that doesn't count for the rest of your score, obviously. Yeah, those 2 guys were a real pleasure to play with, so thank you very much for those 2 cats. We just had a blast playing with them all day. And everybody else, yeah. There was a heavyset dude and his wife who was out there. His wife was just out there rolling around with us. If I remember right, yeah, the doctor, his wife was actually also playing with us, and she was a hoot. Yeah, that was the couple that was playing with us on Ozarks National. That's right. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I gotta give the patrons an A plus, A to A plus, somewhere in that realm as well. Just attracts people out there seemingly who want to just have a good time. with everybody else. So they're probably out there for the same reason you are. The pace of play out there, I'd say, was average. Not overly slow, not overly fast. Everyone's out there just kind of leisurely going about their way at a nice even pace. It was actually kind of pleasant. So yeah, I really enjoyed the pace of play out there. So I mean, I can play lightning fast. I can, you know, stroll around and take my time. Doesn't really matter to me. But I think my good pace is like just above average, you know, just a little bit faster than average, but not crazy fast where I'm, you know, hustling, even though I've done that before, that's for sure. Plenty of times. But yeah, so that's that. I think that's the whole area. And then the staff for the rest of the facility out there as well, specifically on Big Cedar Lodge, was just fantastic. Everybody from bartenders to concierge to gift shop personnel to waiters, you know, at the various restaurants, and we went to a lot of them, and the food out there was all immaculate, all across the board. It's just fabulous. So I mean, I can't remember a single person I dealt with out there that was less than favorable. All of them were absolutely splendid. So it was nice. So thank you so much to Big Cedar Lodge for treating us so well out there and for showing us just an incredibly grand time. I'd highly recommend it to anybody out there looking for a vacation for golf and anything else that you happen to be in the outdoorsy realm. So whatever it is, you're probably going to find it out there at Big Cedar Lodge, and you're going to get well taken care of while you're at it. You know, the one thing is, expect to drop some coin, because oh boy, yeah, it's like I said before, it ain't cheap, but it's worth it. It's a great vacation location, that's for sure. Did I say location? I meant to say vacation location. Kind of a rhyme. Sounded weird. And so I hung this picture up here. This is not normally the picture that hangs on this wall in my house here, but this poster of the 19th at Payne's Valley. They give this poster to you when you play Payne's Valley, so if you go out there and play it, make sure you go back to the clubhouse after your round, pick up your poster. It's free, it's included with your round, at least as of now. If somebody watches this 5 years from now and they stop doing the poster deal, I don't want to, you know, false advertise for Big Cedar Lodge, so let's clarify that. You know, right now they're doing that. That's as of August 2021. Okay, so yeah, let's clarify that. But at least so far as I know, right now, and this is a good, you know, about 6 months later, they'll give you one of these posters. And of course, I had it framed. And it hangs on a different wall in my house, but I wanted to put it up here just so that it's in the shot for this here review. Kind of a neato little thing. So I think I'm going to try to do that. I think I'm going to try to get a poster or something, some kind of picture, and frame it of all of the really special venues I play when I do a big review like this for a whole massive venue. And I'll hang the picture up on the wall behind me, kind of a different piece of artwork as we're doing that. So yeah, apart from that, hey, sorry about that, guys. So my battery died just as I was closing up this video here, so I didn't want it to just shut off quite like that. Be like, and video over. So I put a new battery in there, and I'll pick up where I left off and give you a proper closing here. So, so yeah, I was talking about this picture up on the wall and how that's what they give to you when you play Payne's Valley. As of now, don't know if they're going to stop doing that in the future. You know, they may not. I don't know. So yeah, you know, be warned about that. Don't be like, Midgard Golf said I get a poster. No, I don't represent Big Cedar Lodge. So I got one of these for free, and so far as I know, that's what they're doing still now. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna try to get a poster from every course I go. I get a shirt or a hat or something from every course I play. So this particular shirt I actually got, and this is the Big Cedar Lodge golf shirt. And then I got another shirt or a hat or something from all of the other courses that we played as well. So, but love this one, Johnny O. Brilliant material, so good stuff. So, yeah, but other than that, I look forward to seeing you in the next videos. So I've got some rounds coming your way from Tucson, Arizona. Those will be, what are they? shoot, we played, not in this order, but Quarry Pines, Arizona National, which is formerly the Raven, if I remember right, something like that, the old name for it. And then, what other course did we play? Oh, the 49er Country Club, which has no affiliation with the 49ers football team. It just simply is what it's called, the 49er Country Club. So, but so there's that content coming your way. And then, so there was a gentleman out there in Australia who's actually planning on coming out to the United States for a vacation soon. And he actually requested or to see if we could go up and review the Keystone Resort courses. There's 2 courses up there in Keystone, Colorado. And, you know, the poor guy, so at the week that he messaged me that, you know, if you're watching this video, the gentleman down there in Australia, yeah, the week that you messaged me that was the week after they had closed for the season for 2021, because Keystone's kind of up there, right? So up in the mountains where it starts to snow early. So yeah, that was unfortunate. I am so sorry that it's taken me this long to answer your request. I fully intend on doing it. And I'm trying to get a whole bunch of my pals out there with me. So hopefully there'll be a lot of us playing out there. And if they're down for it, I'll sit them right here at my poker table, slash kind of desk, slash bar, to do a review, to give you all of our perspectives on Keystone, just because that's the only course that's actually been requested so far on the channel. So I really want to do a good job for you. And hopefully I get up there and review the course and render the content before you end up making it out here. I really hope that I get you that content, but we're planning on that at the end of May. So yeah, that's just when we've all got time. It's looking like to get out there, so we're gonna get together, sit down, have a dinner, and book that all out. So I hope that beats your time schedule for coming out to the United States. I really want to give you the course review out there before you get here, so you've got a kind of a good expectation of what it is you're looking at. I want to get you that content. I would have had it to you a lot sooner if they had just stayed open like 3 weeks longer for the year. It's because I had more time back then than I do now with my actual profession. So, but anyway, that's some content that's coming your way, and hopefully, we might actually. I got to talk to Jeremy about that too. We might be going and playing in a charity scramble tournament in Las Vegas. So we might be doing that soon too, and of course I'll try to film that as well. So yeah, just like I did out at the Broadmoor for that charity tournament. So anyway, gotta talk more about that and figure that out. So yeah, that's the content that's up and coming. I already have the content from Arizona, so yeah, I'm gonna start editing that up pretty soon here and getting that out to you. But yeah. That's what's coming your way in the near future from Midgard Golf. So, again, I want to thank everybody so much for visiting the channel. So throw us a like and subscribe if you feel. Yeah, love to have some more viewers on the channel. You know, it's funny. I don't know if YouTube still does this, but I think if I get just 100 subscribers, I think that's all I need, I can actually go in and modify my URL, which would be kind of neat. Then I could make my URL say Midgard Golf too, so that'd be cool. But like I said, you know, I do this to have memories of my rounds and to try to bring you guys some decent content, some entire 18-hole vlogs, which I don't see a whole lot of other YouTubers doing often. You know, entire course vlogs. So I'm trying to bring you that quality of content from all these cool places that I go. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Yeah, again, like the gentleman in Australia down there who put up that request for Keystone, and I have not forgotten. If anybody else has a request for a venue that they would like me to go check out, especially in the central Colorado area, I will gladly answer your request and go out there and play it. If it's anywhere within like 2 hours away, I'm probably going to do it from right here in Colorado Springs, which is like right in the middle of the state. So, and if it's further out than that, further out of a drive, it'll probably take me the whole weekend to do it. So I'll probably look at it and say, okay, yeah, that's going to cost me, you know, a hotel room and stuff like that. That's not just a day trip. So what are we really looking at here? We're looking at something special, and if you're looking for something special, I'll probably try to make it happen for you. So yeah, and of course, I'd like to do a bit more traveling. So this year, of course, going back to Bandon, like I previously mentioned, just went to Arizona. Um, I don't get a whole lot of opportunities to travel a whole lot, but I think next year, Pops and I are probably going to mull over the idea of either going up and playing up in what is it, Michigan? I think up at wherever Whispering Straits is. I can't remember. I could Google it though. I do have a computer right here. So Whispering Straits. Where is this? Wisconsin. Yeah. Samsonite. I was way off. If you know that reference, you're my people. I like it. But so yeah, Whispering Straits, and I think Erin Hills is right up there as well, in that same neck of the woods, and some other courses that are kind of still on Pops's bucket list to go play. So yeah, we'll probably look at that, and then so either there or possibly Pinehurst next year, and do a couple of Pinehurst courses, probably not all like 9 of them or whatever they've got in that area now, but yeah, certainly a few of them, and then Tobacco Road and stuff like that out there, and I think that's what, North Carolina, or potentially where is it that I want to go? Down in the Caribbean at Punta Cana. Yeah, that'd be rad. So play the Punta Cana courses right there in the Caribbean, or Caribbean, however you like to pronounce that word. We'll just give it to you both ways. How's that? So yeah, so that's probably the venues that we're going to mull over checking out next year. Of course, I'd love to do Hawaii at some point. Last time I was in Hawaii, I wasn't doing this. It was many years ago. So get out there, play Princeville, Mackay, the Kapalua courses. Let's see here. I think there's a Canapali course out there, something like that. And it's like a Turtle Bay course. So yeah, there's several courses out there in Hawaii. I would of course love to go check out. And then it's Hawaii. Who doesn't want to go to Hawaii? So anyway. But yeah, for next year we're probably going to mull over those venues. But I don't know. I don't know where we're going to pick yet. Maybe we mothball all of them. Maybe we go to Scotland and play some real old school courses. Play the old courses, St. Andrews or something like that. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll check it out. See. But I try to do at least one trip with Pops every year. So, and now that I'm doing this, I'll vlog them, have them up on the channel, have good memories of it. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much again. Probably already thanked you before, for checking out the channel. If you like these reviews, throw us a like and subscribe. If you don't, if you just like the content, hey, like and subscribe that. That's cool. I like to try to give it all to you as much as I possibly can. So since that's what I want to do, I want to give you my opinion of these courses, to include things that you're not going to get on the website, like how are you going to get treated down there by the people who are getting paid to be there and the people who are paying to be there, other patrons. So yeah, you're not going to find that on any website, but I'll give it to you as my perspective sees it. So anyway, thank you so much again, and we will see you next time. And as always, have a lovely day.